Big time Thursday night AFC North clash tonight between the Steelers and the Browns, and all eyes are on Mitch Trubisky. The artist formerly known as Mitchell was dreadful against the New England Patriots, and frankly, it's unacceptable. And frankly, it needs to change tonight, A, so the Steelers could win, and B, so Mitch Trubisky can keep his job. I mean, this completion percentage is gross. The yards per attempt, arguably worse. And Trubisky talked this week to the press about how he knows he needs to be more assertive and he needs to start getting his wide receivers more involved. George Pickens, who I picked for Rookie of the Year, who the Steelers picked in the second round out of Georgia, what a steal that was, who had a phenomenal preseason. George Pickens has 2 catches this year. George Pickens has only been targeted 6 times. Now, it's not all Trubisky's fault. The offensive line has been offensive. I think Matt Canada has been awful calling plays, but at the end of the day, it's a results-oriented business. And if you have Pickens, if you have Deontay Johnson, if you have Pat Freiermuth, if you have Chase Claypool, this team needs to be much better, much more dynamic when it comes to the passing attack. And honestly, there's no excuse. Mitch Trubisky, in my opinion, is the best quarterback on the field tonight. Jacoby Brissett kind of lost in the shuffle with everything that's going on in Cleveland. Jacoby Brissett has not gotten it done here for the Cleveland Browns. This is a huge ball game, loaded with implications. Brissett was awful last week. This interception lost in, the grand scheme of everything in those zany final couple of minutes for Cleveland. That was a terrible play. Cleveland still had a chance to get the field goal range and win. Brissett has been, you see the numbers, at best, pedestrian. Frankly, I don't even think he's been that. You know Nick Chubb could run. The Steeler run defense has been downright deplorable this year. But I'm taking the Steelers to win this game. I think Mike Tomlin is going to have his team ready. I believe in Trubisky. I believe in Najee Harris. I believe in the weapons. I don't believe in Jacoby Brissett. I think Minkah Fitzpatrick puts his stamp on this one. It counts as an upset special in Vegas. Give me Pittsburgh to beat Cleveland tonight. Oh, baby, buckle up for a gem of an SEC football game on CBS this weekend. Number 11 Tennessee hosting number 20 Florida, and this is going to be a show. I can't wait for it. Best game in all of college football this weekend, and watch out for the Tennessee Vols on offense because this unit is electric. Are you kidding me? Jalen Hyatt was just unguardable, unstoppable last weekend against Akron. 166 yards, 2 long touchdown catches in an easy win over the Zips. Listen, the Vols under Josh Heupel, who I think the world of as a head coach. Listen, Tennessee has a dynamic offense, and this isn't about who they've played. This is what they're going to be all year long. And frankly, at the end of the day, I just don't trust Anthony Richardson. I'm sorry. But his first game of the year, what they did against Utah, give him credit, making big plays on the ground, that was one thing. The numbers, the feel, the last couple of weeks, it's just not there. I think Tennessee makes a monster statement with a monster victory over Florida coming up this weekend on CBS. Cooper Kupp last year into this year, it's kind of crazy when you study the nuggets of domination and the feel on game day from Cooper Kupp. And look, the Rams are still the team to beat out west in the NFC. There's no question about that. San Francisco is going to win more games, handle their business now with Jimmy G as the quarterback. And, I think San Francisco will take care of business against Denver on Sunday Night Football. But at the end of the day, Kyler Murray has been putrid in big spots, putrid in the division, putrid last year in the postseason going up against the Rams. And I know how dynamite and dynamic he was in that tremendous victory for Arizona in improbable comeback fashion against the Raiders last week. So I know a lot of people think maybe he can continue to build off of all that emotion and drama and positivity. I don't see it. It's one thing to beat the Raiders. It's another thing going up against the champs. I'm with Matthew Stafford. I think the Rams make a big statement coming up this weekend, and I can't wait for it. So Aaron Judge could have been a Yankee for the next 8 years to the tune of over $230 million. That is beyond a fair offer. Team Yankees here. There's an injury history, and the average annual value of what Cashman offered is more than fair. $28 million per? I mean, look at the board here. Come on, Judge. Should have signed it. You don't get Mike Trout money or Mookie Betts money because you're not Mike Trout and you're not Mookie Betts. I love Judge, great player, but the Yankees should absolutely let him walk if he doesn't at some point sign this deal. I mean, how about that? Oops, what an epic throwback Thursday, and it's crazy to go back to early April when Brian Cashman made the Yankees offer to Aaron Judge public, and everyone and their mother, including me, was on Team Yankees. I don't regret what I said there in moment, but wow, was I wrong. And Aaron Judge, obviously, is going to be worth more than Mike Trout and worth more than Mookie Betts. So let's shine on baseball on a Thursday. So no home run last night for Judge, but he did rip a couple of doubles. His batting average is .317, and while everyone at Yankee Stadium wanted to see him hit number 61, more proof with those ripped doubles, my guy Judge is locked in. I mean, this is a season for the ages. Greatest season in American League history. You can make the case greatest season, of course, in the history of baseball. And Judge will, instead of hitting the home run number 61 or 62 last night, he's going to do it against the blood rivals, against the Boston Red Sox. A 4-game series starting tonight. And you could tell that Judge obviously is in that rarefied air kind of zone. Can't believe that Eric Stouts walked him in the bottom of the 8th last night. The Boo Birds were out. At least Gleyber Torres made him pay. He had 2 home runs against that tomato can journeyman for the Pittsburgh Pirates last night. Aaron Judge, I believe, will hit home run number 61 tonight. He's going to hit number 62 tomorrow. He's going to move past Roger Maris. He's going to have the single greatest season in the history of the New York Yankees. And at the end of the day, just to prove my entire premise wrong, whether it's the Yankees or the San Francisco Giants, he grew up in California, whether it's, dare I say, the Mets, or the Red Sox, or the Cubs, someone is in fact going to offer Aaron Judge Mike Trout money, Mookie Betts money. I don't even think it's a guarantee it's going to be the Yankees, even on the heels of this season for the ages, because you know that they do have, even as the Yankees, a budget. There's a concern about his injury history. There's a concern about his age, but how could you not at this stage offer Aaron Judge a blank check and say, hey, big guy, what do you want? In terms of baseball and box office, we're keeping you in the Bronx forever. I think the cash register continues to go off for Aaron Judge. The NL East was more like the NL Least yesterday. First, the Braves lost a head-scratching game to the last-place Nationals to snap their 5-game winning streak, which was kind of stunning. The door was wide open for the Mets, who then got shut out by the Brewers and gave up just a wild 5 spot in the 7th inning. Now, New York's lead remains just 1 game when you look at the division. I still think you're going to see the Mets hold on, win this division, and they better, right? They've been in first for the entire season. This would be a collapse. It's a huge difference here when you look at it in terms of winning the division, wild card. Obviously, and I love the new baseball rules and the playoff format. If you're the 1 or the 2 seed in either league, you get a bye in the case of the Mets. You don't have to play the wild card round, set up your rotation with DeGrom and Scherzer, and then you're off and running for the postseason. The only team, in my opinion, that can challenge the Dodgers in the National League, the Mets, with their top-end starting pitching. If the Mets somehow collapse, and, you know, the start of the month of September was one not to remember if you're a Mets fan, if they collapse and they fall to a road wild card situation, that would be a disaster. Strength of schedule, if you're into that kind of thing, still favors the Mets, albeit they had that strength of schedule at the beginning of the month, and they found themselves on the losing end of series against the Nationals and the Pirates and the Marlins and the Cubs, all 4 teams 20 games under 500.
Thank you for watching. Please like and subscribe, and don't forget to hit the bell for more videos.